All right. So, you're clearly serious about this whole building wealth thing.
Yeah.
We've got like a whole stack of your notes here.
Mhm.
Some pretty hardcore financial analysis too, and even some excerpts from The Simple Path to Wealth, that classic by J.L. Collins.
Oh, yeah.
So let's dive deep into all this.
Yeah, let's do it.
And hopefully we can like turn this mountain of information into a clear plan for you to actually build that wealth
Right.
and avoid all those debt traps that keep so many people stuck.
Absolutely. I think what's fascinating here is that all of your sources really highlight the same bad habits, you know?
Yeah.
Like it shows this isn't just a you problem. This is like a human problem.
Yeah.
We're talking about overspending, not saving enough, relying on debt.
Yeah.
These themes, they pop up everywhere.
Yeah, I see that too. It's like everyone struggles with the same things.
Right.
But like just saying spend less,
Yeah,
it's about as helpful as telling someone to just be happy.
exactly.
Like, what are we missing here?
Well, one of your sources talks about lifestyle inflation. Okay.
Which is basically, as your income goes up, you kind of upgrade your spending.
Uh-huh.
You get used to a certain lifestyle, and then you're like, hey, I earned it.
Right.
But that cycle, it can really keep you from reaching your bigger financial goals.
Okay, so it's not just about like being good with money or whatever.
Right.
It's like we got to understand how our brains are wired to kind of mess things up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what about this pay yourself first thing?
Oh, yeah.
Keeps popping up. Is that really any different from just saving?
It's all about outsmarting our psychology.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Pay yourself first means automating your savings before you even see the money.
Mm.
Our brains are wired for that immediate gratification.
Yeah.
So this basically takes the temptation away. You're tricking yourself into building wealth.
Like that. So what percentage can you realistically automate right now?
Yeah,
Even if it's small, it's going to add up over time.
absolutely.
Speaking of seeing things add up, you have a note here about seeing your finances in black and white. What's that all about? Yeah, that's about making your finances tangible,
Okay.
whether it's spreadsheets or budgeting apps or even just pen and paper.
Right.
Visualizing where your money actually goes can be a huge wake-up call.
Yeah.
Research even shows it helps people identify those overspending patterns and actually make changes.
It's like that saying, what gets measured gets managed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was skeptical at first, but when I started using a budgeting app, I was shocked by how much I was spending on stuff I didn't even need.
Oh, wow.
It completely changed my perspective.
Okay, that's a powerful endorsement. So if you're not already tracking your spending, find a method that clicks for you and commit to it. It's a crucial first step.
Yeah, for sure.
Now on to the scary stuff.
Okay.
Debt.
Yeah, the ultimate wealth killer.
J.L. Collins doesn't mince words in The Simple Path to Wealth.
Nope.
He says, those who carry debt are slaves with even stouter shackles.
Ooh.
Talk about a chilling image.
It's a stark reminder of the consequences. And the numbers are staggering. Total U.S. debt is over $12 trillion right now.
Whoa.
We're talking mortgages, student loans, consumer debt. It's a massive burden on individuals and the economy as a whole.
Okay, so those numbers are scary enough.
Yeah.
But it's more than just numbers, right?
Right.
What about the mental and emotional impact of all this debt?
Absolutely. Debt can lead to chronic stress, feeling helpless.
Right.
It can even fuel this vicious cycle of spending to cope.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt trapped by debt, like you're constantly playing catch up?
Oh, absolutely. When I graduated college, student loan debt felt like this dark cloud hanging over me.
Yeah.
It took years to dig myself out.
That feeling of being weighed down is incredibly common.
Yeah.
But here's the good news. Even if you're in debt right now, there are steps you can take to break free.
Okay.
And the most important thing is to start now.
Right. Don't wait until things feel perfect or whatever, set up those automatic payments. Look into debt consolidation if it makes sense and chip away at those balances little by little. Every payment brings you closer to financial freedom.
That's right.
And speaking of financial freedom, that brings us to investing.
Okay.
Once you're free from those debt shackles, investing is how you achieve real freedom, what J.L. Collins calls FU money.
Yeah, it's about having the financial security to make choices that are aligned with your values and goals without being limited by money. It's about empowerment.
It's like my friend who diligently saved and invested for years. They hit a point where they had enough FU money to quit their soul-crushing job and launch their own photography business.
Wow.
Talk about inspiring.
That's a fantastic example of how financial freedom opens up possibilities, and a major driver of that freedom is the often misunderstood power of compound interest.
Okay, I get the concept of compound interest, but it's never felt that exciting to me. Is it really that big of a deal?
Let me put it this way. Imagine two people both investing $500 a month. One starts at 25, the other at 35 by retirement. The early bird could have over double the money thanks to compound interest.
Really?
It's like free money multiplying over decades. That's why it's so powerful.
Right. Wow, that's a serious difference. Okay, so we're fired up about investing.
Yeah.
But the sources keep mentioning these index funds.
Yeah.
What's the big deal? Are they really the holy grail of investing?
Index funds are like owning a tiny slice of thousands of companies. It's a simple and effective way to diversify your investments and ride the overall growth of the market.
You mentioned diversification. The sources also highlighted a surprising fact. Most actively managed funds, those with fancy managers picking stocks, they actually failed to beat the market in the long run.
Yeah, the research is clear on this. It's incredibly difficult, even for professionals, to consistently outperform the market.
So why make things complicated and expensive?
Right.
Index funds offer a low-cost, set-it-and-forget-it approach.
Exactly. And when it comes to index funds, Vanguard is often considered the gold standard.
Okay.
What's unique is that it's owned by its investors, which keeps fees low and aligns their interests with yours.
What if something happens to Vanguard itself? Does that put my investments at risk?
That's a great question. Remember, when you invest in a Vanguard fund, you're buying into the underlying assets, not the company itself.
Oh, okay.
So even if Vanguard faced challenges, your investments would remain safe.
Okay, that's reassuring. So we've got our index funds, but the sources also talk a lot about tax-advantaged accounts. What are we talking about here?
We're talking 401ks and IRAs. These accounts allow your investments to grow tax-deferred, which means you're not paying taxes on your gains until you withdraw the money in retirement.
And if your employer offers a 401k match, that's essentially free money on top of your contributions.
It's one of the best perks you can get.
But how do you choose between a traditional and a Roth account?
That's where it gets a bit trickier. It depends on your current tax bracket and your long-term goals. If you expect to be in a higher tax bracket in retirement, a Roth might make more sense because you're paying taxes up front, but withdrawals in retirement are tax-free if you're in a lower bracket. Now, a traditional account can offer immediate tax savings, but you'll pay taxes on withdrawals in retirement.
So which one is better?
There's no one-size-fits-all answer. It really depends on your individual circumstances and financial goals, but there's one thing to watch out for with traditional 401ks and IRAs, RMDs or required minimum distributions.
RMDs, what are those?
When you reach 70 and a half, you're required to start taking distributions from your traditional 401k and IRA accounts, and those distributions are taxed as ordinary income.
So even though you got a tax break on the way in, you still have to pay taxes on the way out.
Exactly. And if you're not careful, those RMDs can push you into a higher tax bracket and result in a hefty tax bill. But don't worry, there are strategies to mitigate the impact, like converting to a Roth IRA.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. Bad money habits, the importance of paying down debt, the power of index funds, and the ins and outs of tax-advantaged accounts. But our deep dive isn't over yet. We still need to talk about a couple of things that often get overlooked, HSAs and charitable giving.
Exactly. Those are two powerful tools that can boost your wealth-building strategy in ways you might not expect.
All right, let's dive into these often overlooked tools. HSAs first. I'll admit, I always thought of them as just a way to save for medical expenses.
Yeah.
Like, how do they actually work as a wealth-building strategy?
That's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
With an HSA, you contribute pre-tax dollars just like a traditional 401k or IRA.
Right.
But here's the kicker. You don't have to spend that money on healthcare right away.
Wait, so I can just let it grow?
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can invest those HSA funds just like in a retirement account. And as long as you keep those medical receipts, you can reimburse yourself tax-free even years later.
Let me get this straight. So let's say I have like a minor medical expense now.
Uh-huh.
I could pay out of pocket,
Right.
let my HSA investments grow for years,
Mm-hmm.
and then reimburse myself later when the account is much bigger.
Exactly.
And that reimbursement is tax-free.
You got it. You're creating this triple tax advantage.
Wow.
Contributions are tax deductible, the growth is tax-free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are tax-free.
Right.
Some people even call it a supercharged Roth IRA.
My mind is officially blown. Why doesn't everyone talk about this?
It's a strategy that often flies under the radar, even though it can be incredibly powerful, especially for people who are already contributing to their 401k and IRA and want to find other ways to shelter their money from taxes.
This deep dive is already worth it for this HSA insight alone.
Yeah.
But we're not done yet, are we? We also need to talk about charitable giving.
Right, charitable giving isn't just about doing good, it's also a smart financial move.
Oh, totally. One of the most rewarding things I've done financially was setting up a donor-advised fund. I was able to make like a big donation to support teachers in my community.
That's awesome,
And I got a nice tax deduction, too.
right?
It felt amazing to see my money make a direct impact.
Donor-advised funds are an excellent way to manage charitable giving.
Exactly. You get the immediate tax deduction control over when and where your donations go.
Right.
And the potential for your contributions to grow tax-free over time.
It's like giving giving a super boost.
Totally. If you're thinking about upping your charitable giving, I highly recommend looking into donor-advised funds. They make the process so much easier and your impact so much bigger.
Yeah, they can be especially beneficial if you're planning to sell an asset with significant capital gains.
Hold on, what do you mean by that?
So instead of selling the asset and paying a chunk of your profits in capital gains tax, you can donate it directly to your donor-advised fund. You'll get a tax deduction for the full market value of the asset.
Okay.
You'll dodge that capital gains tax hit, and your chosen charities will benefit even more.
That's incredible. This deep dive keeps revealing all these smart strategies I never knew about.
I know, right?
It's amazing.
And we're not done yet. Remember that story from The Simple Path to Wealth, where J.L. Collins talks about his friend who bought a hotel in Tahiti?
Oh, yeah. That was wild.
Yeah.
They had zero experience with pineapples or hotels,
Right.
but they just went for it. It was a great example of how financial freedom can open up these crazy, unexpected opportunities.
What stood out to me was their courage. You know, they were willing to take risks and embrace the unknown, even if it meant potentially failing.
They definitely weren't afraid of failure.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how many of us are playing it too safe and holding ourselves back out of fear.
Fear is a powerful emotion that can stop us from reaching our full potential, both financially and in life.
So how do we overcome that fear and start taking those bolder steps toward our goals?
By taking action, even if it's small. You know, by starting small and building momentum, by educating ourselves and surrounding ourselves with people who support our goals.
Remember that feeling of accomplishment when you paid off a small debt or when you made your first investment?
Those small wins are fuel. They build confidence and motivate us to keep going.
Like those stories in your notes about people quitting their jobs with just a few $1,000s saved to pursue their dreams.
Yeah.
They're inspiring examples of how a little bit of courage and preparation can go a long way.
Absolutely. It reminds me of another powerful quote from J.L. Collins. Those who live paycheck to paycheck are slaves. Those who carry debt are slaves with even stouter shackles. Don't think for a moment that their masters aren't aware of it.
Oof, that's a stark reminder of why financial freedom is so crucial. It's about breaking free from those constraints and designing a life that's truly your own.
It's about having the power to choose.
Exactly. And the tools and strategies we've discussed in this deep dive can help you get there, from automating your savings and tackling debt to investing in index funds and maxing out those tax-advantaged accounts.
And don't forget those HSAs and donor-advised funds.
Right. There's so many ways to take control of your financial future.
But remember, it's not just about the mechanics of money. It's about cultivating a healthy mindset around money.
What exactly do you mean by healthy money mindset? It sounds a bit woo-woo.
Think about those bad money habits we discussed earlier. They often stem from deeper beliefs and emotional patterns that we might not even be aware of.
Like the fear of scarcity or the need for immediate gratification?
Exactly. If we don't address those underlying issues, we're likely to keep repeating the same financial patterns even if we have all the right tools and strategies in place.
So how do we shift those deep-seated beliefs about money?
It's a journey of self-discovery. It might involve therapy, journaling, or simply becoming more mindful of your thoughts and behaviors around money.
It's about recognizing those limiting beliefs and replacing them with empowering ones.
Exactly. And as we change our relationship with money, we open ourselves up to a world of new possibilities.
What are some practical steps we can take to cultivate that more positive money mindset?
One powerful practice is gratitude. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we can appreciate what we already have. It shifts our focus from scarcity to abundance.
Gratitude is like a financial superpower.
Exactly. And when we feel abundant, we're more likely to attract more abundance into our lives.
It's like the law of attraction in action.
Another helpful practice is visualization. Imagine yourself achieving your financial goals and really feel those emotions associated with success.
It's like creating a mental blueprint for financial success.
And when we combine that visualization with consistent action, we become unstoppable.
Okay, so gratitude and visualization are key ingredients for a healthy money mindset.
Yeah.
What else?
Don't underestimate the power of community.
What do you mean?
Surrounding yourself with people who are supportive of your financial goals can make a huge difference.
Okay.
It's like having a financial cheerleading squad.
I love that analogy.
You can share successes, talk through challenges, learn from each other's experiences, and stay motivated throughout your financial journey. And who knows, maybe you can even inspire others to take control of their finances too.
That's the beauty of community. It creates a ripple effect.
So to recap, gratitude, visualization, and community are powerful tools for transforming your relationship with money. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs. But with the right mindset and a commitment to learning, you can absolutely achieve financial freedom and live a life of purpose and abundance.
So for you, our listener, what does this all mean? What steps can you take today to start building wealth and get out of debt?
Start by automating your savings. Even a small amount consistently invested will make a big difference over time.
It's like planting a financial seed and watching it grow.
And tackle those high-interest debts. Those are like financial weeds choking the life out of your wealth garden.
Get rid of those weeds and watch your wealth garden flourish.
And, of course, invest wisely. Index funds are a great starting point.
And consider those HSAs and donor-advised funds.
Most importantly, believe in yourself and your ability to achieve financial success. You've got this.
We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive, haven't we?
From bad money habits to investing strategies to cultivating a healthy money mindset, it's been quite a journey.
But there's always more to learn. Personal finance is a lifelong adventure.
So keep reading, keep learning, and keep experimenting.
And don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. There are so many resources available, including financial advisors, books, podcasts, and online communities.
Find what works for you and take action.
Your financial future is in your hands.
Right.
Wow. It's amazing how all these pieces kind of fit together.
Yeah.
We talked about building wealth and investing wisely, even using HSAs and charitable giving to our advantage.
Right.
But it all circles back to this idea of, like, financial freedom, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's about having the resources and the mindset to live a life that truly reflects you without being limited by money worries.
Yeah, and it's not just about, like, hoarding a giant pile of cash or something.
Right.
It's about using that money as a tool to actually build the life you want.
Exactly. Money is a means to an end, not the end itself.
Thinking about it this way really changes things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not about being greedy or materialistic. It's about making sure your financial goals, like, line up with your values, what you want to achieve in life.
It's about creating a life of purpose and meaning.
Which leads to something we haven't explicitly discussed,
Yeah.
but it's worth thinking about legacy. We've talked about building wealth for yourself, but what about the impact you leave behind?
That's a powerful question. What mark do you want to make on the world?
Yeah.
How can your wealth make a difference even after you're gone?
It could be through charitable giving, supporting your family,
Right.
even starting a foundation to fund causes you believe in.
The possibilities are endless, really. It's about aligning your wealth with the change you want to see.
Thinking about legacy adds like a whole other dimension to financial planning, doesn't it?
For sure.
It's not just about our own needs. You know? It's about the impact we want to have on the world.
It's about leaving the world a better place than we found it.
So as you continue on your journey towards financial freedom, think about how your wealth can create a lasting legacy. It's a powerful and incredibly fulfilling way to make your money truly matter. And to wrap things up, you have the knowledge and the tools to achieve financial freedom and build that meaningful legacy.
Now go make it happen.
That's a wrap on this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring these ideas with us, and most importantly, that you feel empowered to take control of your financial future.